video day, guys. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a highly anticipated video because I've been telling you guys I was going to do this and I hadn't, and that's because I knew I wanted to try one more foundation before I kind of gave you guys a rundown on the newest released foundations that I have tried and my order of which ones were the best and which ones weren't that great. And I was just waiting to try one more foundation. I finally tried it, and I've been trying it for over a week now, and I already know what I think of it. So now I can kind of give you guys my rundown on all these brand new released foundations and what I am thinking and my order. Now, some of these foundations I returned because they just did not work for me at all. And I'm not going to keep a foundation that's not going to work for me, especially at some of these price tags, because I think you guys all know there's a lot of things to look for in foundations. Does it break you out? How does it look on your skin? Are you dry? Are you oily? Are you combo? Can you find a color match that matches you? There's so many different things when it comes to foundations. It's one of those that it's so personal to your personal skin that I totally understand people having to return foundations, because some foundations just do not work at all for you. And I had a hard time. I'm going to tell you guys straight off the bat. There was a few real big flops here for me. There was some huge wins here for me. And I really think I found a foundation that is going to be my favorite. But I feel like there was a little bit of trouble along the way. I've been kind of like true to my YSL All Hours foundation, but I can't wear it every day. It's just like my nighttime foundation. I was using the Beauty Blender Bounce foundation as my regular foundation, but I just wanted something different. I wanted something a little bit more luminous. And when all these luminous foundations came out, I was like, oh my God, this is like heaven sent to me. Luminous foundations are my thing. I love them. So I was so excited to try a lot of these, and I tried a lot of them. I have some opinions. I'm definitely going to share them with you, but I want you guys to know from the beginning, definitely foundations are so personal. So if you guys love some of the foundations I'm talking about, I'm super sorry. They just didn't work for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get into everything. We're going to talk about the top, the bottom, what I'm thinking right now. But if you guys are new and you've never seen me before, I'm Christina Brooke, and I would love it if you want to hit the subscribe button and be part of my glam ranch and join in on the makeup fun with all of us here. And let's get into it right now. So I'm going to start off with my favorite. Should I start with my favorite or the one I hate the most? Like, I don't know which one is like more fun for you guys to hear, like the worst product or the best product. We're gonna start off with the worst then. So I'm gonna start off with the foundation that just did not work for me at all, like at all. And this was a huge flop, big time. So this is the KEVYN AUCOIN, or the KEVYN AUCOIN, I don't know. I know I'm saying it wrong, but I can't. Foundation Balm. This is a pricey foundation balm. It's $52. I was so excited for this because it was like a full coverage foundation. It came with its own applicator. It had like this really cool consistency. It called my attention huge. Like, I was so excited to try this. I ordered it like right when it released at Sephora, got it, tried it for the first time, and was so shocked by the coverage that I was like, wow, this could be a full coverage person's dream, because it literally covered the side of my face that I look like a porcelain doll on one side, and like on the other side I look like I needed to put on makeup, like really bad. So I was so excited with it, but as I tried it on, there was a few concerns that started to happen, and they ended up being real concerns. Now, the first one was I noticed that it was really light, and it was so light, and I picked a color that should have matched me. It was like in the mediums already, and it didn't match at all. Like, I would have had to gone up so much, at least 5 shades. I feel like now looking at it and looking at the video, I'm like, wow, I would have had to gone up like 5 shades already. Then there was some other flaws. As the day went on, it started gathering all in my nose. I had so much foundation stuck to all my dry patches by the end of the day that I was like, oh my God, I look terrible. It wore horrible. It looked terrible on my skin by the end of the day. It just did not work. It's weird because it could have been a good formula, because when you first put it on, you're almost like, wow, it doesn't feel like you have makeup on, but it's so full coverage. It looks fantastic. Then as the day went on, I was like, oh gosh, it started getting stuck inside of my nose, and then it started to crepe up in the areas that I was dry. I don't think it wore that good because it kind of like just broke apart. And that's like after wearing it like a few times that I was already like, wow, this is not gonna work for me. I really don't like it. It just doesn't work for my skin. Oh, and if I didn't tell you, so you guys know my skin, I have combination skin, very combo. On certain areas, I'm oily. I get oily like around this area, but then the inner corners of my nose, I get dry. And every once in a while, I get like little dry patches like around here. So I'm kind of like combination. Like I have both things going on. I'm not excessively dry and I'm not excessively oily. I'm just stuck in the middle. So just so you guys know. So this one didn't work. This was not for me at all. I feel like if maybe you have very oily skin, maybe you could probably get away with this, but I would love to know if this works for anybody, because for me, it was a no-go. So yeah, I definitely had to take that one back, and I took it back and didn't get another one. So let's move on to another one. So now this one is pretty low there too, because this one was, I was so excited for this. Like I really was. So this is from Charlotte Tilbury. This was the Airbrush Flawless Finish Foundation. I almost called it the powder foundation, and it's $44. So this is not that cheap, but for Charlotte Tilbury, I thought it was a decent price. Beautiful foundation bottle, so luxurious, everything about it amazing. I tried it on and I really liked the way that it looked when I first put it on. Everything kind of matched, but I knew the color looked a little bit off. Like I wasn't sure how off under the studio lights, and it didn't look like that off. 2 days later, I wore the foundation again, and I remember my husband looking at me straight in the face and going, "Are you gonna wear that like that?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You know that you look super yellow, right?" "Really?" He was like, "Nobody's gonna think that you look natural. Like, that's just my opinion." And I was like, okay, wait. I thought it was yellow, but I didn't realize how yellow. And it was so yellow, guys. It looks really bad. And I feel like a lot of this foundation goes very yellow. So if you have a very strong yellow undertone, maybe this will work for you. But me, who has a golden undertone, the yellow was like yellow, like no good. So I knew that the color looked off, didn't know how off, but it was pretty off. And then I will tell you guys, the finish was nice. I thought it looked really pretty. I couldn't find a color match, was my hardest thing. I went to the store and I said, well, I'm gonna keep this one because even though it's like not my favorite foundation, I do like it. And I really wanted to get it in a better color to like wear it more often. And I went and I tried so many different colors. And the closest one I found was, I can't remember the name, but I'll put it down below the color, the closest I could find. And even that one was too white. Like it wasn't tan enough for my skin tone. And I felt like if I bought that one, which I got the sample of it, I was like, even if I buy this one, I know I'm not gonna wear this because it's not golden enough, and it didn't work. So I could not find a shade in this foundation to match me, to save my life. Now the finish looked pretty. The wear time was decent. It was not my favorite foundation at all, but I really knocked this one down because the shade matches were so off. At least for me. If you guys found your shade match, kudos, like awesome, but me, okay, so now this one was such a letdown. And I'll tell you, because I love the way the foundation looks when I apply it. It looks so beautiful. It has such a beautiful finish. So this is from Pat McGrath, and it's the Skin Fetish Foundation, and it's $68. So the $68 is what I am focusing on. Now, I love the finish. It looks so pretty, but I don't love the coverage. It is a very light coverage foundation. I wanted more coverage. Now this is personal preference. I do not love full coverage. I want medium. I just want everything to kind of look covered. Finish was like beautiful. The coverage was not my favorite. Like it was like an everyday coverage for me. And for $68, I wanted a little bit more. Like I was thinking this was going to be my nighttime foundation, like the I'm gonna look amazing foundation, and it was gonna replace my YSL All Hours. That's what I thought. But the coverage wasn't that great. So instead of being like my nighttime foundation, this would be my everyday foundation. But there's a problem because the Pat McGrath foundation has alcohol in it, and alcohol helps to kind of like settle the foundation quicker. But on people like me, I can't always wear foundations with alcohol because I end up getting very dry in certain areas and it kind of irritates my skin. So like my YSL All Hours foundation has alcohol in it, but since I only wear it like once a week or even more than that, maybe even once a month when I'm going out, that I can get away with that. But if I was gonna make this Pat McGrath one my everyday foundation, my skin would hate me. So because of that, I couldn't keep it. I loved the finish. I loved the color match. I think that she did an amazing job with the color match. It matched me impeccable, but I hated the fact that it was not a medium coverage foundation that I could have replaced my YSL with because it had alcohol in it. I feel like the more full coverage the foundation is, maybe it's more acceptable to have the alcohol in it because they tend to think that full coverage is more for like nighttime and maybe not used all the time. But the ones that are light coverage, it's almost like put me ingredients in there that are good for my skin. Put me nourishing things. Put me stuff that is skincare that is going to help my skin because you know I'm going to wear this every day. And I feel like that's where it missed the mark for me. So I definitely couldn't keep the foundation. Like I wasn't going to wear it at night and I wasn't going to wear it a lot during the day either. I would have been a prune. Now we'll move on to number 3. So now this was one, guys, that I love the foundation look. This is another one that was kind of a letdown, but okay. So this is Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. This is her new hydrating foundation. I love the way that my skin looks with this. Like honestly guys, like if I film, I love to put this on because it just looks so pretty. My skin looks so good. It has a little bit of a scent to it. Now I think that the scent that they put in there, even though it's very light and I can hardly smell it, I think it irritates my skin a little bit because I have noticed wearing the Fenty foundation multiple times, I do break out every once in a while when I'm wearing the Fenty foundation, and I feel like it is definitely the scent. That's my thought. And another thing is the wear time is not that good. When I first wore it, I actually thought that the wear time was decent. Like it looked like it was. And as I have been wearing it multiple times, I'm like, oh, it's not that good. Like it really isn't. Like it doesn't last on my skin the whole day. Like I feel like it starts to really break down and you really don't see it that well. It doesn't break down ugly, but it just like kind of disappears, and I feel like my face eats it. Like it just kind of disappears on me. And another thing too is my face gets very oily. So at the middle of the day, I feel like I'm pretty damn oily, and I don't know if that's what happens. Like the oils start to come through a lot and it kind of like eats away at all the foundations. But I feel like this foundation really lets your oils come through, and I get more oily with this foundation than a lot of my foundations. So even though I do still like this one, and I feel like if you have dry skin, maybe you're gonna be like obsessed with this, but if you have normal or combo skin kind of like me, it's gonna be hit and miss. Like if you're more dry, you might like it. If you're more oily, you might like So this one's okay. Not my favorite, but definitely wearable. Love the finish, love the look of it, just the whole thing didn't work. All right guys, now we're up to my top 2. And I will tell you guys this right now. I don't know which one of these is my first and which one is my second. Now, the one I'm going to put in second place, the only reason it's in second place is because I feel like the shade match is not perfect, and I feel like I need to go back and get a different shade. And I don't know if they have my perfect shade, but I could definitely wear the one I have. Like it's not like the one I have I would have to exchange if I can't find it, but I feel like I need to go a little bit darker, like just like a tad darker, like I want it. So the SHISEIDO Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation, $47. Beautiful. I love this foundation. It settles beautifully on the skin. I don't even have to set it. I feel like it just makes my skin look natural. Like it looks skin-like. It's really a beautiful, flawless skin look. And the color is not perfect to me. I feel like it's a little tiny bit light. Like I said, I just need a little bit more golden in there. So that's why I want to see if there's one that's even better for me. But I love this. I love the wear time of it. I love the way it makes my skin look. I love that it doesn't look like I have a lot of makeup on, but it gives me so much coverage. I do not break out wearing this. I've been wearing this foundation for a full week, not one breakout, and I will tell you, I actually think my skin is doing better wearing this foundation, which is a shocker. I really do. So maybe another foundation that I was wearing more often, maybe that one was causing a little bit of pimples here and there, but this one, nothing. And I've been wearing it for a week. So I am excited for this foundation. And the only reason it's not in the #1 spot is because of the color tone. And honestly, guys, I really should have put this in #1. Like it really should be there. So if you guys are seeing this and thinking this is my second favorite, it really isn't. It's kind of my #1. but I don't know about the color match. And the number one foundation, and this is because I like the color match, I like the finish, and I hadn't had a problem with it, is the ANASTASIA Luminous Foundation for $38. This is a beautiful luminous foundation. The finish is really pretty. I love the shade match here. I really think it gives me like that perfect tan look without looking like it's too like mismatched. It's a beautiful, beautiful foundation. I get a luminous look. I don't get oily. I really like this one on my skin, and it wears good. It wears really, really good. I do not feel like this one breaks me out either, but I do feel like there's a chance that this one could clog my pores more than the SHISEIDO one. I feel like the SHISEIDO one is almost like going to be my new go-to everyday foundation, like that. Like I said, I really don't have a number one between those two because they both have their little issues. But if I find my shade match in SHISEIDO, that is going to be my number one for sure. But anyways, that is all I have for this video. I hope I was able to guide you guys through all the brand new foundation releases, and hopefully there is one that will work for you guys. But leave me your comments below. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these foundations and if you liked any of them more than I like them. So either way, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.